Hey guys, we are going to be learning about elements of a graphic novel today. We are going to start taking some notes. So you should, in your journals, you should follow along and take these notes with me. So, what is a graphic novel? Okay, so a graphic novel is a book written and illustrated similarly to a comic book. I'm sure that you're all familiar with a type of comic book, or maybe you've even read graphic novels, but they can literally be any genre and tell any type of story. So you can go ahead and pause this to get the notes down, and then when you're ready, you can keep going. Okay, so a graphic novel, it starts with the cover. The cover really can give us clues to what the story is about. Usually we say let's not judge a book by its cover, but in this case, we kind of want to know what the story is about, what the pictures are about, what the artist is like. So a graphic novel really consists of both the cover and its inside pages. Okay, so a graphic novel has many different elements. One that is super important for us to know is called panels. So those are the squares or rectangles that convey a single scene. So if you look at these panels, we can see a scene that is taking place. So a cow is in the field. It's nighttime. We can tell because there are stars and moon in the sky. And then the next thing that happens is a UFO appears, and it looks like a cow is being abducted by aliens. And then in the next panel, the UFO is flying away, and it looks like there is a farmer standing there, confused perhaps about what is happening to its livestock. So those are panels. All three of these panels work together to tell a story. Each different box is a piece of that story. Okay, so then we have gutters. Gutters are the space between the panels. So that's any blank space you might see, white, whatever color the artist has chosen. That is the space that you would find between the panels. Next, we have dialogue bubbles. So there could be different bubbles throughout the graphic novel, but usually when characters are communicating with each other, there are different bubbles or shapes to represent dialogue bubbles, so we know that characters are talking to one another. So in these panels, we can see that there are two aliens discussing whether or not they should steal a cow. Okay, and then we have thought bubbles. So sometimes an artist will choose a different shape or a different drawing of a bubble, one that tells us that characters are talking, and then maybe another one where it is just a character's thoughts. And so in this panel, we can see an alien wondering what the purpose of life is. That's a thought bubble. And usually you'll be able to pick up on whether or not the dialogue bubbles look different than when it's just a character having internal thoughts. So then we have captions. Captions are really important because sometimes we need to read the captions before we start reading what's happening inside the panels. Captions, they give us information about a scene or a character, something that we may not pick up on visually. It's also important to read. And so this caption tells us it was a fall night on the Anderson farm. So this caption lets us know what the setting is, where it is, what time of day it is. So it's really important to also read captions. Okay, then we have sound effects. Okay, onomatopoeia is really important here. Sound effects are expressed a lot in graphic novels in order to convey some type of sound or something dramatic that is happening. So in these panels, we can see that something has blown up, and we have the word bang there to represent a sound. Okay, so how should we read graphic novels? We usually read from left to right. just like in a regular novel. And then sometimes we read from up to down. So left to right and then up to down, like in these panels with the cow being abducted by aliens. All right, so those are your elements of a graphic novel notes. Next, you are going to have the opportunity to answer a couple questions in this form, and then you are going to practice drawing your own graphic novel and just a couple panels to show that you know what these different elements are.